Noji into your picture, making his way over to the Hungarian bench. It looks as if the Hungarians are going to make a substitution. And we'll bring on Dajka, number 9, and Noji goes off. So number 9, Dajka, is into the game. And now the Hungarian wall has been set. There you see Jerry Gray, Branko Segota. Gray runs off the ball. Segota with the shot. Oh, a blistering drive and a good save by Zandrai. Well taken free kick by Branko Segota.
And that's what Branko Segota in your picture is brought into this side for. A tremendous shot, renowned for his goal-scoring ability, and goalkeeper Zendra had to be on his toes there to punch it clear.
Varga with the throw-in. Segota getting ahead on it. Jerry Gray turns and gets the shot away. Zendrai, who had to be very quick in knocking that ball away after Segota had taken the shot. It was labeled. It was certainly on target and would have been a goal. Reagan. Delay. There's the ball partially blocked by David Norman. Carl Valentine comes up with it for Canada. Valentine. And Valentine can't get by Varga. Esterhazy has it for Hungary. Esterhazy for Ditari. Ditari for the substitute, Daja. And the ball goes into the stands. It'll be a throw into the Hungarians once they get the ball back. As we mentioned, the stadium seats 31,000, but I would estimate that about 22,000, 23,000 in attendance this afternoon, if that. The World Cup ticket prices for the Mexican fans are very, very high. They run anywhere from $20, $30 to $50, and that's a lot of money here in Mexico. A little disappointing to see that happen, but I guess it's one of the facts of life. The organizers want to make money, so they keep the ticket prices high. Randy Samuel for Bob Lenarduzzi. Lenarduzzi can't get it by Varga, and Varga heads it over towards the Hungarian bench, which is located directly below our commentary position here in the stadium in Irapuato. Segota does well to get by 2 men and then finds Reagan with the ball. Reagan turns, but the Hungarians go back to their keeper. Team Canada continuing to exert pressure on the Hungarians.
And the reason they're able to exert pressure is that Hungary has pulled 6 white shirts back now into defense. Hungary wants a result here. Any result. 1-0 will do them just perfectly.
Bridge getting ahead on that for David Norman. Mike Sweeney, who replaced Captain Bruce Wilson as a substitute. Randy Samuel for Bob Lenarduzzi. Bradley tries to flick on to find Segota. Cardos for the substitute, Daja. Back to Ross. And I think we can pretty well expect to see this style of play from the Hungarians. They will just try and kill off as much time as possible. Almost 21 minutes gone in the second half. Hungary 1, Canada no score. Second ever game for Team Canada in World Cup competition. Of course, they have another game coming up against the Soviets on Monday, and Graham and I will be here in Irapuato to bring you that one live from coast to coast on the CBC. Hope you'll join us then. That's Monday, Team Canada against the Soviets. We've had many a battle on the ice in hockey. This will be only the second showdown between Team Canada and the Soviets on a soccer field. Latieri throwing to Lenarduzzi. Lenarduzzi finds Branko Segota. Segota to Igor Bradley. Back to Segota. Segota with a little chip forward for Bradley. and the linesman's flag went up immediately, indicating offside, much to the displeasure of the Canadian fans.
And much to the displeasure of the big number 10, Igor Bradley.
Hungary 1, Canada nothing. CBC's coverage of World Cup '86 continues in just a moment.
Looking for tips on fishing? Ask a 50 problem solver.
With some rug stuck to the bottom of your boots, you wouldn't slip on the rocks.
Well, put a wheel on the front of your canoe, you wouldn't have to carry it on your back.
Anyway, a little piece of my hair around the hook, and I told you they'd bite.
Yeah, but without my custom-made fishing net,
We never catch the biggies.
You'll never find a better bunch.
50's the one.
you'll never find a better beer.
You got it.
British Columbia, Vancouver, and Expo 86, a spectacular national celebration where Canada will host the world. 5.5 months of entertainment, culture, and friendly people. Come to the province you've never seen.
Come on!
Come to a world so spectacular.
Join us!
3-day tickets and information at the Royal Bank.
Welcome back to Irapuato. That was a free kick for Hungary. And good work on the part of the Hungarian forward in coming forward and getting ahead on that. But unfortunately for the Hungarians, it was high. Tino Lettieri knocking it forward for Bob Lenarduzzi. Almost 24 minutes gone in the second half here in Irapuato. Hungary continuing to lead Canada by a score of 1-0. Segota trying to get to it, but can't, as the Hungarians go back to their goalkeeper. Now let's go to Mexico City, where Chris Cuthbert is standing by with an update.
Steve, the Brazilians have finally cracked through against a very stubborn side from Algeria. Miller on in the second half, puts it across. Lazy play by the defender and corrected there. Scores for Brazil.
Welcome back to Irapuato. We're live. Hungary against Canada. And this is number 6, Garaba, making a run for the Hungarians, trying to find keeperage. But again, it's big Randy Samuel coming over in support for Team Canada. Joseph Varga will take the throw in. This is deep in the Canadian half. Hungary leads 1-0. Almost 25 minutes gone in the second half. Lenarduzzi gets ahead on it. Esterhazy working against Valentine and Lenarduzzi. Gets it to Varga. Varga with the cross. Easy one for Tino Lettieri. David Norman. Lots of space down the left side. Tried to find his man, but blocked by the Hungarian midfielder. Samuel. Back to Lettieri. Norman.
And Norman says, don't give me it again. I've just made a 30-yard run. It's tough to get back.
This is when the fatigue factor will come into play at altitude in the second half. Randy Samuel, who just amazes me with his work effort. He never seems to be tired.
And he's an intimidating figure when he's coming full steam towards you.
Lenarduzzi. Valentine. Gets by one man. Valentine for Segota. Here's a chance for Valentine going down the line. Gets the cross in. Here's a chance for David Norman. And he couldn't really get the shot away. Tried to volley the ball. And he couldn't get the shot away. Sweeney keeps the pressure on for Segota. And Segota heads it over the bar. Again, tremendous pressure from Team Canada against the Hungarians as Canada looks for the equalizer.
Segota did well to get his head to that cross from Sweeney. Just couldn't get far enough above it to direct it under the crossbar, but Canada looking good right now.
Canada by far and away the aggressors up front in this game throughout. The Hungarians really haven't had that many chances against the Canadian goal. But as Graham has pointed out, they are defending in numbers, trying to protect this one-goal lead. Almost 27 minutes gone in the second half. Hungary 1, Canada no score. The ball knocked forward by Samuel and then headed forward by Cardo. And now the Hungarians in the Canadian half. They try to give and go, but neatly taken out by Ian Bridge. And now David Norman unable to hang on. Salai for Hungary. David Norman going in with a challenge. He said, if I can't get to the ball, maybe I'll go through you. Which he tried to do against Salai. Bogdan back to Salai. Jerry Gray. To Segota. Here's a chance for Bradley. Bradley with a little bit of space. Can he get the shot away? He does. But again, it's high and wide.
And again, we saw the covering of Hungary. The big number 5, Joseph Kardos, who was caught out of position so often against the Soviets, came across there. Just watch him make the challenge. Forces Igor Vrablich to head it over the crossbar.
Another missed opportunity for the Canadians. But good effort on the part of that young man, Igor Vrablich. Born in Czechoslovakia, played this past winter in the Belgium League. But went to high school in the Kitchener area. Ditari, number 10 for the Hungarians at midfield. Plays a long ball down the right side, looking for Kieprich. Kieprich able to run onto it. Kieprich plays it through, looking for Esterhazy. And the Hungarians unable to get any sort of a shot away.
And Esterhazy and Mike Sweeney having a little bit of an argument there as to who was pulling whom the most.
Valentine back to Bob Lenarduzzi. Segota gets ahead on another chance for Vrablich if he can get the shot away. But unfortunately, he couldn't beat Salyi in a foot race, and the Hungarian defender went back to his keeper.
Very difficult for Igor Vrablich to make these 20, 30-yard runs now and have any strength at the finish of them. He's made some excellent runs throughout the game, but this field is very strength-sapping. The conditions very tiring.
And again, it's the recovery race that is so critical at altitude. You can make these runs all day, but each time you do, you pay the price. You lose a little bit of energy every time you make one of these runs. That's where the fitness is so terribly, terribly important. Vrablich unable to get to that before number 5, Cardos, does. Sweeney has it for Canada on the left side, being watched by number 7, Kieprich. Plays it for David Norman. Norman back to Randy Samuel. Samuel. His pass knocked down by the Hungarians. They come back. Ditari is a chance. The referee says it's okay. It's onside. Lanieri comes up, blocks the shot. The Hungarians have scored. Ditari.
Canada caught pressing forward, looking for the equalizer. We see the shot go in from Ditari, but the run was made by this big number 7, Kieprich. Wide open on the right wing. He had a shot that Letieri saved, but give credit to number 10, Ditari, followed up brilliantly and side-footed it into the net.
Hungary 2, Canada nothing. Coverage of the Labatt World Cup TV series continues in a moment.
Can your motor oil survive the punishment today's engines dish out? Circulating it twice as fast, working it twice as hard, breaking it down, and causing it to lose its viscosity. That's why you need an oil with the additive that does more to help prevent viscosity breakdown. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's cars. Look for Castrol XLR at these and other leading retailers.
Kaufman King Treads. For a tough job, get one of the toughest boots money can buy. Rugged leathers, steel toes, safety soles, CSA grade 1, tough soles, guaranteed not to separate, comfort from day one. Remarkable Kaufman King Treads, tough enough to take anything you can throw at them.
A free kick awarded to Canada just outside the 18-yard box and taken by Branko Segota, but really no chance whatsoever. The kick was high from the moment it left Segota's boot and traveling way over the crossbar. So another opportunity for Canada to get on the scoreboard here in Irapuato is missed. Hungary 2, Canada no score. We have played 32 minutes and about 25 seconds in the second half. And Graham, I kind of got the feeling as Canada kept pressing and pressing, looking for the equalizer, that it was only a matter of time before the Hungarians got the kind of break that they wanted in counterattacking.
Canada had to press forward. They needed the equalizer, and they knew if they pressed forward, there's least holes at the back. The big number 7, Keith Fritz, took advantage of this. Had a great shot saved by Lettieri, but Lettieri followed up as any goal scorer should and tapped it into the net.
A free kick for the Hungarians is coming about 15 yards outside of the penalty area. Lettieri, who has scored the second goal for the Hungarians, set to take it. And now the Canadians are going to set up the wall. Valentine, Randy Reagan, David Norman, Jerry Gray in there. Gray indicating where he wants the wall to go on the advice of Tino Lettieri. Lettieri strikes it, and Tino picks it up.
Tino catches it on the third bounce. Hardly a very good effort by the number 10 of Hungary.
Safe to say the Canadians really have their backs to the wall now. They trail by a score of 2-0. And we played 33.5 minutes of the second half. And the Hungarians are coming forward again. This is Esterházy. Plays it for Bognar. Bognar with the crossbar post, and neatly taken out of the air by Tino Lettieri. Mike Sweeney, who has played a very strong game for Canada since replacing Captain Bruce Wilson. Jerry Gray, David Norman. Would be very difficult indeed to pick out a Canadian star. All members of the Canadian team have played exceptionally well. So little was expected of the Canadian side here in Mexico. If you read the Mexican press at all, you wouldn't even know Team Canada was here and certainly had any chance at all. They expected them to get blown out in the game against France. I don't think too many people expected Team Canada to lose that badly, if at all, against the Hungarians. And it'll be interesting to see what the Mexican press says about this game and Team Canada's upcoming game against the Soviets, set for Monday here in Irapuato, which Graham and I will have for you live from coast to coast. Offside, attempting to find Bradley.
And there's referee in charge of the Spain-Brazil game, who was the center of a very big controversy. Spain thought they had a goal when the ball hit the crossbar and seemed to cross the line, much like Jeff Hurst's goal in the '66 final. But referee then and linesman today, Mr. Benbridge, decided to disallow it.
Sondrai with the kick. Lettieri. Less than 10 minutes to play now in Canada's second ever game in World Cup competition. Hungary 2, Canada no score. Valentine, Lenarduzzi. Chips it forward for Segota. Segota unable to get to it before Garaba does. Segota takes a throw in. Valentine. Segota. Lettieri to Daja. Daja being watched by another number 9, Segota. Daja was elbowed off the ball by Branko Segota, who has certainly shown me a lot of effort. That was one of the big knocks against Branko, was his lack of effort from Tony Waiters. Jerry Gray trying to win that battle. Salai for Hungary. Ibrich back to Salai. Bognar. David Norman does well to get in front of that. The ball goes into touch. Throw in to Team Canada. 36.5 minutes gone now in the second half. Hungary lead by a score of 2-0. Randy Reagan, Ian Bridge. Long ball down the right side, hoping that Segota can get to it. And he's beaten by Cardos. Cardos, Garaba. Daja plays it on the left flank for Varga. Esterhazy being watched by Randy Reagan. Varga. And Varga knocked from behind by Lenarduzzi, and Lenarduzzi having harsh words with Varga. And he gets the yellow card from referee El Sharif of Syria. The frustration beginning to show in the face and mannerisms of Bob Lenarduzzi, one of the veterans of the Canadian side, over 40 appearances. Now has more appearances in a Canadian uniform than does his brother, Sam Lenarduzzi, who has joined our commentating team in Mexico, working with Jeff Gowan. Free kick taken by Ditari to Kieprich. Kieprich at the top of the 18-yard box leaves it for Bognar. Bognar with the block. It hits the bar. A fortunate moment for Tino Lettieri and the Canadian team that ball did not rebound back into the goal.
And a fortunate moment for Bobby Lenarduzzi, who thought it was going to go for a goal kick. So it hit the post and bounced into the arms across the goal line to Tino Lettieri. An amazing lapse, but you can see that some of the sting has now gone out of this Canadian side after that second goal. The legs are beginning to feel a little rubbery, and now it's going to take a tremendous effort. One has to feel that this game has been salted away by Hungary, much as Canada has tried. On the day, they were just not good enough.
And if the result stands, that will leave France and the Soviets on top of Group C with 3 points each. And then the Hungarians with 2, and Canada with no points from 2 games. But a big final game coming up for Team Canada in World Cup '86, Monday afternoon here in Irapuato against the Soviet Union. And Graham and I will be here, and we'll have it for you live from coast to coast on the CBC. Lenarduzzi, who is wearing the armband now as the Canadian captain with the departure of Bruce Wilson. Jerry Gray losing that battle in the air to Varga. Ditari for Hungary plays a nice ball through to Kieprich. Kieprich. And a good save by Tino Lettieri, who really didn't know where the ball was after he'd made the save. But a good effort on the part of Lettieri.
And the big number 7, Kieprich for Hungary, beginning to find huge holes in this Canadian defense. Lettieri is so good at coming off his line, read that well, made an excellent save. But you can see the difference now in this Hungarian side. They're beginning to play with a lot of confidence. Now they've got a 2-0 lead.
Mike Sweeney battling against Bognar. Sweeney realizing he was beaten, so he just hung on to the sweater.
And referee Al Sharif reached for his pocket to get a card, realized that Sweeney had been booked before and would have to send him off, so put it back in very promptly.
But referee Al Sharif is having word.
Oh, yeah.
There is the red card for Mike Sweeney. He got his second yellow in the game, so that means the red card comes out, which means that Mike Sweeney will not be able to play for Canada in the next game against the Soviet Union. Team captain Bob Lenarduzzi quickly over there to have words with Al Sharif, the referee. But unfortunately, words with the referee rarely get a result. Ditari. And cleared across the line by Bob Lenarduzzi. That'll be a corner kick to the Hungarians.
And a dejected Mike Sweeney just going into the player's box beneath it. With all the boots that have been flying around in this World Cup competition, I have to query whether that little tug on the jersey was worth sending a player off for. Whether it was a Canadian player or not, any player, it's hardly justifiable.
Jerry Gray gets a head on it. Daja for Hungary. Plays it out on the right side for Kieprich. Being watched there by David Norman. Norman manages to get a foot on it. Salai keeps it in the Canadian half. Varga now working down the left flank for the Hungarians. Plays it back to Ditari. Ditari, a long ball over the right side. Salai with a shot, and a good save by Tino, who had to be very careful with the way that ball bounces on the turf here in Irapuato. And we're informed that that red card to Mike Sweeney is the very first issued in World Cup '86. So a dubious honor going to Mike Sweeney, the pride of Duncan, BC. Randy Reagan with a little bit of space at midfield. Reagan unable to move it forward, but keeps trying. And the referee indicates that Reagan was interfered with, so it'll be a free kick taken quickly. Jerry Gray to Lenarduzzi. Lenarduzzi tries to work it in the middle, gets by one tackle. Lenarduzzi for Bradley, and again the linesman flag goes up. Team Canada frustrated time and time again by the offside call.
And the anxiety of Igor Frablic to get on the scoreboard, he just leaves that one bit early. Good through ball by Lenarduzzi, but a striker just has to time his run perfectly. And Igor, on that occasion, off his mark a little too quickly.
According to my watch, just under 2 minutes to play here in Irapuato. Team Canada's game against Hungary. Canadians trailing 2-0. Esterhazy opened the scoring for the Hungarians in the first minute when the Canadians were caught napping in the back. And then they scored a goal in the second half to make it 2-0. Zitari getting the second goal for the Hungarians. Don't forget, Team Canada's last game in World Cup '86 will be against the Soviets on Monday from Irapuato, and Graham and I will be here, and we'll have it for you. Hope you can join us then. We're looking forward to that one. Bob Lenarduzzi, the cross, far post, looking for Segota. Segota unable to get to it. Roth beat him in the air. Cleared into touch by Bognar. Doesn't quite make it into touch. David Norman keeps it in play. Randy Samuel to Jerry Gray. About 45 seconds remaining to play, although I'm sure the referee will add on a little bit of extra time for stoppages and injuries. And again, the linesman's flag goes up, indicating offside. So many times in this game, the Hungarians, full credit, play the offside trap remarkably well. Kieprich working against Samuel. Kieprich still in control, and then Randy Samuel knocks it off the foot of Kieprich and gets a goal kick for Canada.
Well, it looks as if Canada has lost this second World Cup game, but you have to feel that they've gained a lot of experience from playing against France and Hungary. And for the future, and there is a future for soccer in Canada, this could stand them well.
Every member of this Canadian team should be very, very proud of the job they have done thus far. Remember, they still have another game to play in World Cup '86. But certainly in the 2 games to date, they have nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. They have come up with 100% effort. They've just run into a couple of tough teams. The Hungarians having a lot to prove after a 6-0 loss to the Soviets.